Thank you.
Hello my dear friends, it's Yuri Tsvetkov, and today I want to make a short video about my golf swing. You know that the best way, in my opinion, to describe your opinion about the golf swing is just to comment your personal golf swing. In this connection I will try to do it with the example of my video. So here you can see that this is GORKI Golf Resort. It's not so far from St. Petersburg, one of the 100 best golf courses in the continental Europe, according with the last year award. So it's a practice swing, and currently it will be the full swing. This is a par 4 hole, which quarter wide the transition zone for the first stroke. You can see that I'm playing with the 3 woods because I prefer to play with the 3 wood more often than with driver, because I have approximately the same distance and the better accuracy with this club, and I could not find the driver which will be so highly useful for me as this professional colorway Diablo H, very old but very efficient golf club, because it has a amazing shaft. It's a stiff shaft. It's absolutely useful for me. So you can see that in this position it's quite interesting to describe my swing, because you can see that my foot, first of all, my foot, the left one is stay on the land, and the right one you can see that I'm trying to, oh, just a moment, I need to start from the stance better. Yes, the stance is highly important in my opinion. You see that I think that the stance must be not mostly the stance, it must be something like the half sitting. So your hips must be down from the line of the swing, back to the line of the swing, and a little bit down, because the knees a little bit more broken than maybe usually. Plus that in this situation I have not so good spine as I need to make a good swing, but sometimes when I have more arc spine, it's not helping me, but it's you know that it's becoming a little bit more difficult to make the swing from this position. So the stance is absolutely important in my opinion, and during this stance you need to feel that your weight is not on your foot and the feet, but it's on your heels. In the first stage, in the backswing, you need to feel that that your weight is on the heels, and after that, during the swing, you certainly will feel like the weight is stay on the left heel, and it will be on the right foot. So again, in this position you can see that I'm trying to control my right hand during the backswing, because you see that I want that my elbow will be very close to the body, and that my right elbow will be broken. I will prefer to have the model of the swing like the Dustin Johnson, but I couldn't have so good you know, both left wrist, because the Dustin Johnson is making swing much more upward. I don't want to have it upward, because from this position with the upward I couldn't make the swing you know, that into out. I'm trying to control it, and only way which I have found it to control it is just the closed stance which I have, and plus that the you know, that much more flat backswing, because I prefer to make a lot of not a full swing shots, and from this position I prefer to make a takeaway, not a direct line from my task, but little bit over back to back of my my spine. And here it's also, you can see that I'm trying to make the you know, that I have not so strong nature speed, and I have not so many red muscles which are necessary to make very quickly speed in this connection. Swing speed. In this connection, I'm trying to make it more not fast swing, but it's slower backswing, which is giving me opportunity to start the swing with the low part of my body. You will see that it's still my problem because I could not do it properly, but I'm working on that, and later we will see it. And the position of left knee is also important. I like the golf swing model of the Ben Hogan and the Cameron Champ, and my swing evolution was relative with the three swings. It's a Ben Hogan I have started to study from his book, the golf swing from his book and from his videos. The second one was the Dustin Johnson with his both wrists and his open hips position during the impact. It's amazing, and I think that 10 years ago we couldn't find a swing which will be so relatively interesting and so evolutionary, so developed the golf swing history as the Dustin Johnson swing. It doesn't mean that the swings of the Rory McIlroy, for example, he have started to play later, first of all, and plus that the Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy is quite difficult to study from them because they start to play from 2 years old, and in 2 years old you have from this age you have much more opportunities to develop the model of the golf swing which will be much more faster and which will include much more novice relationships and the synapses in your head, which will be involved in the central nervous systems and the peripheral nervous systems, which will be involved in the swing move. And this connection, unfortunately, it's necessary in my age. I am over 50 right now, and in my age, it is necessary to find much more, maybe not so complicated golf swing. But from the other side, after Dustin Johnson, in my opinion, the Cameron Champ have a very strong influence on the golf swing model development. And exactly the Cameron Champ, the position of his legs during the backswing, I'm trying to use this position to open my hips in the backswing, to maybe closed. It will be correctly said it's closed in this position. And you know that my right leg is not parallel to the left leg, but at least my knees are looking in one direction. You see that Rory is making it a little bit different, and this connection, in my opinion, it's quite a big difference between the Rory McIlroy and the Cameron Champ swing. But maybe the Cameron is also also have a strong lag, very different from 90% degree, and this connection, it seems that it's also highly important. And plus that his foots are working, as in my opinion, mostly ideal. From the other side, I certainly understand that in the Cameron Champ swing we have a little bit, that he is in some cases over leveraged, but it depends from the other position which I couldn't. So here, in my opinion, it's relative with position of his wrists exactly at the addressing of the ball. He's taking more leverage. I'm maybe not so highly ready to use so much leverage as he did. So this position is a little bit both wrist, but I will prefer a little bit more, but for that I will need more upward pivot point, and currently I feel that maybe it's not so good time to such experiments, because mostly at first I will prefer to work more on my hips, and this task to develop the hips is most difficult and need a lot of time. Just a second. So here the luck is quite good. The transfer of the body is normal, and the knee is a little bit even more bended. You know that even the Phil Mickelson currently becoming play with even more bent knees, because he is talking that he's necessary and he feel that he needs some more power for his golf swing. I think that it's highly important. Unfortunately, I cannot play as Rory McIlroy, who is starting to do it in the during the downswing, because in this connection I am making it at address, at stance, and during the backswing. So this position is highly important, and you can see that unfortunately I have not opened hips position during the impact and after the impact, exactly after the impact. I will prefer to have even much more opened position. And if you will have any ideas, any comments about how to open them more, I'll be thanks a lot. Currently I think that I will need to make much more drills which are related with hips development, with the hips, make them more smart, make them more ready to different moves. And in this connection, this video is also video from my serial, which I'm calling the happy hips, because you know that when I can make a swing from the hips, I become much more happy with this move, because I feel much more efficient move and much more efficient usage of all my muscles, all my nerves, and all my body, as the lower part such as the upper part. So in this connection, it's not you know, that efficient move. I will prefer even more open position, but currently I can achieve more open position, just not during the full swing, but from the you know, from the half swing or the shorter swings. It's quite difficult to see. In some cases, it's possible to say that from this on this video it's quite difficult to see, but I am trying to have at the impact to have the cupped right wrist position. So as for me, I'm trying to have the left arm must be straight during the all swing, but right arm must be broken during the impact position, as in the elbow, such in the wrists. It's also the subject which is quite difficultly achievable for me, but in this video I can see that maybe I am close to the you know, that the valuable and useful position in this case, because in my opinion it's highly important. And I need to say that during the downswing I prefer to concentrate exactly on 2 points: moving my hips and saving the right elbow in the broken, in the cocked position. It's impossible to control the left hand during the downswing. I mean the elbow position of the left hand, but it's much more easy to control your swing by the holding your right elbow, your right wrist in the cupped position. It's highly important because it's giving you the lag, it's giving you the portion of second which is necessary to open your hips and to save the lag between your left arm and your club. So in this connection, those are details which are mostly difficult to work on. In this position, I need also to say that I'm not so highly happy with my right feet walking, because you can see that I will prefer that my right feet walk much more early than the left one becoming to walk. Such a position with the legs is we can see that Justin Thomas is playing something approximately this way, and it's depending not from that fact that I'm going to have much more power. It's an automatically happen which when you have the more bended knees during the backswing and the first stage of the during the stance and in the first stage of the downswing. But I will prefer to stay a little bit more with the bent knees, but I'm making it a little bit too early. Maybe I have not time exactly. Maybe why my hands walk is not so that successful as I want to have. Yes, this position. You see that in this position my luck is, I am saving the luck, and this is quite good for me. And in this, even in this position, I am saving the luck. So in this connection, this task is decided. But we can see that my right elbow, wrist is not so highly broken as it necessary. So I still need to walk with the broken, with the cupped right wrist. And in this position, I need to walk much more efficiently with my right feet. It must be stay on the feet, but it still stay on the full foot and on the heel. So in this connection, I need to walk mostly on this point also. And plus that, I will prefer to stay my shoulders a little bit over the right hand. I will prefer right heel, right foot, because I will prefer that my hips will rotate over the left leg, over the left foot, but my shoulders will rotate over the right one. Such position will give me much more efficient swing, and currently, unfortunately, I could not achieve it because I am more necessary to walk with the hips. And plus that, such rotations that hips are rotating over the left leg and left feet, and the shoulders are rotating over the right feet, is giving the space for the opening hips much more better than I can show you in the my swing. So still in my swing I have much more subjects to work on than to be happy with. From the other side, the total results of my swing is not so bad. Currently it's just a sprint, and this connection it's impossible to use the full distance. The temperature is less than 10 degrees Celsius, and the fairways are not soft, and they are a little bit more water on them than it necessary, because the ball is staying and not rotating after the curry. But I feel that the distance is not so bad, and my model of the swing is quite efficient. Currently I have approximately 50% of the greens in regulation. I am not the long hitter. My average distance with the 3 wood is approximately 240 yards only, and this connection, that the golf courses here in Russia, they are new ones, and they were built it maybe 5-6 years ago as a GORKI Golf, for example, and it's quite a long golf course, even from the yellow tees which we are using for the amateur golfers, for the men's normal age and the handicap approximately 14, maybe 18 and less. Even from those tees, the course is longer than 6,000 yards, and we have many par 4 holes which are necessary, maybe which are longer than 420 yards from the yellow tees, and in this connection, such holes maybe have 4 or 3 at least. And in this connection, you need to have the second stroke from the distance approximately 150 meters to the front of the green, and 160 meters to the front of the green, and approximately 200 to the center of the green. And sometimes it's necessary to use the 3 wood for the second stroke, because if you are playing in the wind against the wind is very strong, and usually here in GORKI, and this connection is that the long clubs strokes are highly necessary to play on such courses. And I'm going to improve my handicap to decrease it to maybe 6 or 7 this or next year. Certainly the coronavirus is a situation which is not useful to do it, but it's my long-term task. So I will need to play from the wide tees, and there we need even more longer distance strokes. Certainly understand that the distance strokes is not only the strokes, and the playing from the tee is not only the subject which is necessary to be achieved. And this connection I'm trying so it's not history about only distance, but in my opinion, more efficient golf swing is also deciding the problem with control, because the correct swing with the open hips position is giving you much more control than even more control than distance. So I'm trying to develop the golf swing with the open hips position because I feel that I have much more better control. Unfortunately, this video again becoming too long, but I will thanks a lot if you give me any recommendations how I could achieve this task to play with much more open hips position at the impact. Thank you very much. Hope to see you on my channel, and please share your links with your channels. Hope to see you again. Bye bye. Have a good golf. У меня там 4 разных аккаунта.